Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Well, today we're going to be exploring 50 journaling prompts.
Okay.
And these prompts are all about healing from trauma. We're
Interesting.
getting all our info from this blog post, 50 journaling prompts for trauma.
Hmm.
It was published just last month by Clara Penrose on the LeStallion website.
I see.
Now, I don't know about you, but I've always found journaling to be kind of therapeutic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But have you ever thought of it as like a tool for actual trauma recovery?
Well, when you think about it, journaling provides you with a safe space. It's
Right.
just you and your thoughts. You can confront difficult stuff without any judgment.
Exactly. It's like having a private sanctuary for processing all those complex emotions,
Yeah,
especially after experiencing something traumatic.
absolutely.
So the way this LeStallion post is organized, it's divided into sections, each with a different focus.
Makes sense.
The first one that really caught my eye was exploring your emotions.
How interesting.
It's all about acknowledging and understanding your feelings,
Even the tough ones.
even the really tough
I
ones.
think that's where a lot of people get stuck.
Totally.
They try to bury those feelings, but it's so important to actually feel them.
Right.
It's like you gotta untangle that web of thoughts and experiences to really understand the impact of the trauma.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
There's some really thought-provoking prompts in this section.
I bet.
Like one asks, how do you feel when you give yourself permission to grieve?
Wow.
It makes you stop and think, right?
Definitely. It's like, when was the last time you actually allowed yourself to grieve?
Yeah, for real.
Ah.
It's something we often avoid, but, honoring those emotions, even the painful ones, it's essential for healing.
Couldn't agree more.
There's another prompt, and this one's a little more action-oriented.
Hmm.
It asks, what is one small thing you do for yourself to find peace in the midst of emotional turmoil? It's a good reminder that self-care can be really powerful.
Absolutely. Those little acts of kindness towards yourself, they can make a huge difference in regulating your emotions.
Yeah, even something as simple as taking a few deep breaths
Oh,
or
yeah.
listening to calming music
Right.
or just like spending time in nature.
I think that's huge, actually.
Right. So I guess the big takeaway here, at least in this stage of healing, is that all emotions are valid.
Definitely. It's not about labeling them as good or bad. It's about recognizing that they're all part of the human experience.
They're trying to tell us something, right?
Exactly. And when we silence them, we're actually missing out on these valuable insights.
It's like we're blocking ourselves from truly understanding our own healing journey.
Precisely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on. The next set of prompts focuses on understanding your trauma.
Okay.
We're going beyond just acknowledging the emotions now.
Gotcha.
We're really diving into how trauma can impact different areas of your life.
So it's about seeing the bigger picture.
Yeah, like recognizing that trauma isn't just this isolated event. It creates these ripple effects that touch everything. Relationships, decisions, beliefs,
Yeah.
even physical health.
Right.
It's all connected.
And that awareness, that understanding of those connections is key.
I agree.
It's like once you see those patterns, you can start breaking free from the grip of the trauma.
That's powerful.
It is.
One of the prompts that stood out to me in this section asks, what is one belief about yourself that has been impacted by your trauma?
That's a good one.
And then it asks you to write about how that belief has evolved and what it means to you now.
Trauma can really distort our self-image. It
Yeah.
can lead to these negative beliefs that we carry around with us. So examining those beliefs, that's where the real work begins.
Yeah, because we start to see how those experiences might have shaped our view of ourselves
Exactly.
and even our view of the world.
Right.
And from there, I guess, we can make more conscious choices.
It's like you're rewriting those narratives,
Yeah, exactly.
embracing a more positive sense of self.
So it's like taking back your power.
Exactly. It's about owning your story and realizing you have the power to heal and create a brighter future.
Okay, on to the next stage in this healing journey.
What's that?
Releasing the past.
That's a big one.
It is. It's about letting go of that past pain, acknowledging that it's shaped you, but it doesn't have to define you.
And I think that's a concept a lot of people struggle with.
Totally. It's hard to let go, but it's so freeing when you do.
It is. Holding on to those hurts just keeps you stuck.
There's a beautiful prompt in this section that asks, what is one memory you're ready to let go of? And how will releasing it help your healing?
Makes you think, huh?
It does. It makes you take inventory of what you're carrying
Yeah.
and decide if it's still serving you.
Yeah.
And sometimes letting go involves forgiveness,
That's right.
and that can be tough.
Forgiveness is a journey,
It is.
and it often starts with ourselves.
It's so easy to get caught up in self-blame, especially when we've been through trauma.
Absolutely.
Like, we blame ourselves for things that were totally outside our control.
Yeah.
But self-forgiveness is a game changer.
Huge.
When you can let go of that guilt and shame, it opens up so much space for healing.
It's like a weight lifted off your shoulders.
Exactly. So, for our listeners, the main takeaway here is that letting go is a process, not a one-time thing. It's a gradual release. And some days are harder than others.
Oh, absolutely. There will be ups and downs.
But the important thing is to keep moving forward, even if it's just one tiny step at a time.
You got it. You just got to keep going.
It's like we're untangling ourselves from the past,
Yeah.
creating space for a future that's not dictated by those experiences.
And that's so empowering. It's like taking back control of your own narrative.
Totally. Which brings us to rebuilding trust.
Oh, yeah. Trust. That's a big one.
It is. And after trauma, it can be really hard to trust again.
Oh, for sure. Trauma can shatter that foundation of trust.
It makes you question everything.
Right, like your own judgment.
Yeah.
Your ability to form healthy connections.
It's like we build these walls up to protect ourselves.
And that makes sense, right? We're trying to avoid getting hurt again.
Absolutely. It's a natural response. But those walls, they can also keep us isolated.
That's true.
They can prevent us from experiencing genuine connection.
Which is what we need for healing, right?
Exactly. So rebuilding trust, it's a delicate balance.
It is.
It's about taking small steps and honoring our own pace.
There's a prompt in this section that asks, how do you rebuild trust in yourself after trauma?
Okay.
Write about the small steps you can take to strengthen that trust.
It's like we're starting to chip away at those walls brick by brick.
Right. And as we do that, we rediscover our own strength and resilience. And from there, we can cautiously start to extend that trust outwards.
Always prioritizing safety, though. Always listening to that inner voice.
That's so important.
It is. There's no need to rush. So the key takeaway here, I think, is that rebuilding trust is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. There will be setbacks. There will be doubts.
For sure.
But it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about being willing to take those small steps, to be vulnerable, to learn from each experience.
Exactly. And to be kind to yourself throughout the process.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Ready to explore the next stage of healing.
Let's do it. I'm intrigued to hear what's next. So this next part is all about embracing healing and hope.
Okay.
We've, already explored our emotions, and we've talked about how trauma impacts us.
Right.
We even talked about letting go of the past and trying to rebuild trust.
Yeah.
Now it's time to shift our focus to the future.
Looking ahead.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So these prompts, they really encourage a positive outlook.
I like that.
For example, there's one that says, what is one thing you're looking forward to in your healing journey?
That's a good one.
Right. It kind of makes you think about a future where healing is possible.
Yeah, like visualizing that end goal.
And having something to look forward to can be really motivating.
Oh, absolutely. Especially on those days when you feel stuck.
It gives you that little push to keep going.
Like a light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
So it's not about ignoring the pain.
No, not at all.
It's about recognizing that healing is possible.
Even on the toughest days.
There's another prompt that asks, how do you find balance between honoring your pain and embracing joy?
Ooh, that's a powerful one.
Right. It acknowledges that you don't have to pretend the pain isn't there.
It's okay to feel both.
Like finding that middle ground.
Exactly. You can acknowledge the hurt while still searching for moments of happiness.
It's like yin and yang.
I like that analogy.
So it's about finding that balance that works for you.
Yeah, embracing the full spectrum of human emotions.
Recognizing that even in those dark times, there can be glimmers of hope.
And those glimmers, they're what keep us moving forward.
Totally. And they remind us that healing is a journey.
With ups and downs.
But ultimately, it's about progress.
And celebrating those small victories along the way.
There's a prompt that asks, what is one positive change you've seen in yourself since you started healing?
That's a good one to reflect on.
It's like taking stock of how far you've come.
And recognizing your strength and resilience.
It's like those little wins. They plant seeds of hope.
Exactly. And they remind us that change is possible.
This section also talks a lot about self-compassion.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
It's about being kind to ourselves throughout this whole process.
Not beating ourselves up for those moments of struggle.
Exactly. Giving ourselves permission to make mistakes.
Recognizing that healing isn't linear.
Yeah, some days are harder than others.
But we just got to keep showing up for ourselves.
With kindness and understanding.
You got it.
Thinking about these prompts, I'm struck by how much of this healing journey is about self-discovery.
It really is. It's not just about dealing with the trauma, it's about rediscovering who you are underneath it all.
Because trauma can really cloud your sense of self, don't you think?
Absolutely. You start to question everything, your values, your beliefs, even your identity.
And that's where journaling comes in. It gives you this space to explore those deeper parts of yourself.
Yeah, to reconnect with the things that matter to you. Your passions, your dreams, all those things that might have gotten lost along the way.
It's like you're peeling back the layers, uncovering those hidden strengths, and rediscovering those forgotten parts of yourself.
And you might be surprised by what you find. You might discover a resilience you didn't know you had, or a newfound sense of purpose.
It's like those experiences, as difficult as they were, shaped you in ways you're only beginning to understand.
Exactly. And those lessons, those hard-won insights, they can become a source of strength moving forward.
You turn those wounds into wisdom.
Beautifully put. That's the heart of healing, isn't it? It's not about erasing the past, it's about integrating it into a larger story of growth and resilience.
Recognizing that those experiences, while painful, have contributed to who you are today.
And that realization, that's where the real power lies. You're taking ownership of your story, acknowledging both the light and the shadow.
So, thinking about these prompts and their focus on healing, do you think there's a role for creative expression beyond just writing? Could things like art or music help process trauma too?
Oh, absolutely. Healing isn't limited to words on a page.
Right. It can take so many forms.
It's about finding what resonates with you, what allows you to express those emotions in a way that feels authentic.
Maybe it's painting or dancing or even just spending time in nature. It's about finding what speaks to your soul.
Because sometimes words just aren't enough.
So, to our listeners, I encourage you to explore those different avenues of creative expression. See what calls to you, what helps you tap into those deeper emotions.
And remember, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's your journey, and you get to choose how you heal.
Well said. And on that note, we're going to wrap up our deep dive into these journaling prompts for trauma recovery. We hope these prompts have sparked some ideas and maybe even inspired you to embark on your own healing journey.
Remember, healing is a gift you give to yourself. It's a testament to your strength and your unwavering belief in a brighter future.
So take those first steps, trust the process, and know that you are capable of incredible transformation. And never forget, you are not alone on this journey.
There are people who care, resources to support you, and communities ready to embrace you.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you found it insightful and maybe even a little bit transformative. Keep exploring, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of healing. Until next time.